Hello there, you, the one listening right now. This isn't an accident. Somehow, someway, you were meant to be here. Have you ever felt like you're standing in the middle of something enormous, but you can't quite name it? As if your soul has been waiting for a signal to finally wake up. If your heart is nodding, even in silence, stay with me. Because what I'm about to say may be the very thing you've been waiting to hear your entire life. And to begin, let me tell you about a bell no one hears with their ears, only with their soul, in a world that keeps getting louder, where the glow of screens begins to dim the light within. There are rare moments when everything outside just quiets down, and it's in those sacred silences that the soul finally dares to whisper. Tonight is one of those nights. And if you're an Aries, what you're about to hear isn't just a story, it's a bell. An ancient bell, ringing from the deepest corners of the universe. A bell only awakened souls can hear. And you listening right now are one of them. Aries, the pioneer, the spark, the pathfinder, always ready to face the fire, to lead through the unknown. But maybe, just maybe, you're tired. Maybe you've asked yourself, why does my road always feel so lonely? Maybe you've been trying so hard to hold onto your heart, in a world that never stops shifting, a world that's brought even the strongest souls down to their knees. And strangely, or not so strangely at all, this is exactly what the universe wants you to understand now. What I'm about to say didn't come out of nowhere. It arrived through a different kind of current, a frequency not broadcast through logic, but through something much older, much deeper. It's said that Padre Pio, the saint who once spoke with angels, when he glimpsed what was coming for you, Aries, he fell to his knees in silence, not from fear, but from reverence. For thousands of years, souls like yours have been chosen to light the path. You were born to begin new cycles, to break old patterns, to set fire to the trail so others could follow. But no one told you that those who open the way often carry the heaviest burden. That's why the universe can no longer stay silent, because something is approaching, something sacred, something seismic, not to break you, but to make you remember who you truly are, not the tired version of you, not the mask you wear, but your soul waiting to awaken. In the language of the spirit, we believe this. When the call arrives, it means the soul is ready. There are no coincidences, only signals, and those who are awake enough to receive them. So if your heart is racing right now, if your eyes are tearing up and you don't know why, let me say this clearly: you've been chosen, not because you're perfect, but because you're brave enough to be yourself, even in a world that keeps telling you to be someone else. When Padre Pio fell to his knees, it wasn't weakness. It was surrender to a light too vast for the human mind to grasp, and that light is beginning to burn within you now, Aries. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to listen, because what's coming next will open a dimension of energy that hasn't touched this world in nearly 1,000 years. Under this sacred light, the universe is about to reveal something hidden for 847 years, a rare alignment that's beginning to move, and it's coming straight for the destiny of every Aries soul who's ready to rise. In a place where time moves slower than light, where planets ring like sacred bells echoing messages from a higher realm, something is completing its cycle. And when it does, nothing stays still. Not the blood, not the breath, not a single soul marked by the Aries fire will be able to look away. It's not easy for the human mind to grasp what's unfolding out there, where celestial bodies humbly rearrange themselves, as if the universe is tuning its symphony of destiny after centuries of silence. But the soul knows, and your soul is listening very closely right now. The last time this alignment occurred was 847 years ago. For nearly 1,000 years, no one in human history has ever felt the kind of energetic waves that are now on their way. But this time, they're not arriving by chance. They're coming for you. Aries, you are the first flame, the one who walks through darkness without needing a torch, because the light inside you is enough to guide the way. But how long have you had to hide that light? How many times have you asked yourself, will the things I've lost ever return? The reverse Tower card isn't a sign of destruction. It's a miracle of reconstruction. It means everything you thought had crumbled, is quietly finding its way back. Not in the same form, but in a higher, brighter, more worthy form. Worthy of who you are now becoming. A love you thought was gone, an opportunity you thought had passed, a radiant version of yourself that you abandoned trying to please everyone else. All of it is beginning to take shape. This moment in time, the universe is not sending chaos to punish you. It's sending disruption to clear a path. Just as a forest must burn to grow again, your life is being reborn from the ashes. And don't be afraid, because in those ashes there is a seed. And in that seed is your destiny. This is not collapse. This is resurrection. This is your return to yourself, to the reason you were born, to the mission your soul never forgot, even when your mind did. A powerful gateway is opening now. It will not wait for hesitation. It opens only when your hands have let go of what no longer serves you. And beyond that threshold, you won't just recover what was lost. You'll discover what you've never even known, a version of yourself so luminous. Even you will be in awe when you meet them. So if you feel something aching in your chest right now, like a soul memory being stirred, trust it. You're not imagining it. You're remembering who you are, at the place where destiny and divine timing meet. Another soul is making their way toward you, and they carry a missing piece, one that, when united, will finally complete the sacred circle of your soul. Sometimes the greatest things don't arrive like thunder. They slip quietly into your life like a soft wind at dusk, like an old song playing when you least expect it, like a passing glance that haunts you for days. And if you're an Aries, you understand this truth deeper than most. Not everyone is meant to be your destiny, but not everyone shows up by accident either. Some people are sent to you as the missing pieces of yourself, the part your soul always recognized, but your heart never learned how to name. This week, someone like that may appear. They won't stand out in a crowd, but their energy will unsettle you in a way that's different. Not because they're perfect, but because something in you will feel like you've met before, in a dream, in another lifetime, or simply somewhere beyond time. Their name begins with a letter you wouldn't expect, and their arrival will seem ordinary. A glance shared between two strangers, a message sent to the wrong number, a laugh echoing from across a familiar cafe, but your soul will know. There will be a quiet moment when you look at them, and deep inside something still and sacred will whisper, "This is the one who carries the clue I've been waiting for." This person isn't here to sweep you off your feet. They're here to help you remember the part of yourself you've tried to forget. They are a way shower, sent to help you expand not just in love, but in soul connections, community, and the life you're meant to live. You'll feel the energy of change approaching. Through little signs that might seem random, a song playing 3 times in one day, a number repeating on a license plate or a clock, a dream that wakes you at exactly 3:33 a.m. These aren't coincidences. They are messages. If you've ever felt alone in a crowd, this person will make you feel the opposite for the first time. Alone, but never lonely. No one can walk your soul's path for you. But some people arrive just to remind you that you don't have to walk it all alone. And you know, the miracle isn't in who this person is, it's in when they arrive. Right when you begin to wonder if magic still exists, if hope still matters, just when you were about to give up, life sends someone like a little lamp in the dark to help you take the next step. Maybe this connection will be brief, or maybe it will begin something eternal. But no matter what happens, this meeting is sacred because it's not just changing you, it's awakening something in them too, something only your presence could activate. And if you've been wondering whether you're still fresh enough to love again or brave enough to open your heart to someone new, the answer lies in what you're feeling right now. Not in your mind, but in the beat of your heart. And as your heart begins to open again, to receive this divine connection, another door is opening, this one in the realm of abundance. A miraculous shift in your finances, a long-awaited reward from all the good karma you've been quietly planting for years. There are dry seasons that don't happen in the land, but in the heart. Those months when you weren't really living, just surviving. Every time you opened your wallet or checked your bank account, your heart would quietly clench, not because you were afraid to lose money, because you missed a version of yourself. The version who could dream without guilt, who could spend without shame, who could simply live without doing the math in your head first. You've lived through seasons like that, quietly, gritting your teeth, smiling through it all, still showing up for others, still pretending to be the strong one. But only you know how many nights you lay awake in fear, not afraid of losing everything, but afraid there would be nothing left for you. Every late night, every unpaid bill, every wish you denied yourself because of money, the universe has seen it all, every bit of it. So today I want you to hear this with a heart that's grown tired. None of your effort has been forgotten. None of your sacrifice has been meaningless. No tear you shed has gone unseen. Karma is not always punishment. Sometimes it's a reward. In your reading today, the Nine of Pentacles glows like gold beneath candlelight. Not the kind of gold that comes from luck, but the kind that's forged from every loss you've endured, from every act of kindness you gave without return, from every time you chose dignity. Even when life tried to make you kneel. Money is not just a number, it's a frequency, and your frequency is rising again, brighter, stronger, because you passed the test of lack, with faith, not bitterness. Stop believing you're not worthy. Money doesn't corrupt people. Chronic scarcity does, because when you're just trying to survive, your soul forgets how to give love freely. But when you're well, you help more. When you have enough, you shine more. And that's why the universe is sending this your way, not as a handout, but as a sacred return. A divine thank you. Write down exactly what you need. Be specific. Don't write, "I want more money." Write, "I need $3,200 to pay off this debt and start over." Or, "I need $15,000 to get my mother the treatment she needs." Then look at that number and whisper to yourself, "I am worthy of abundance." Money is not the goal, it's a tool. And there's no shame in praying for the tools that help you live a kind life, help others, and fall in love with living again. There is a wave of financial energy forming around you, not from a lottery ticket, not from someone else, but from the silent seeds you've been planting all along. Every time you did the right thing, even when no one saw it. Every time you stayed honest, even when it cost you something. Every time you gave without asking anything in return. All of it is crystallizing now, turning into harvest, and like any seed preparing to sprout, you must clear the soil. Something within you must be released to make space for the abundance that's ready to flow in. On the road to growing up, there comes a moment when it's no longer about moving forward, but about knowing what must be left behind. Not everything precious can be carried with you. Not every memory needs to stay, and not everyone who walked with you was meant to go all the way. Aries, your strength is no longer in question. You've proven that time and time again. But now the universe is testing you on a deeper level. Can you let go? Can you stand before something that once helped you survive, look it in the eye, say thank you, and then walk away? The Emperor and the Ace of Swords, two of the most powerful cards appearing together. It's a sign. A massive invitation is coming. Someone with real influence, real power, real potential will make an offer. It might be the job you once dreamed of, a breakthrough in your career, a quantum leap in your life path. But there's a condition. You must leave behind what you once called home. And that is the real test. Familiar things hold a strange kind of magic. They make us feel safe, even when they no longer serve us. Maybe you're clinging to a relationship that still has meaning, but no love. A job that pays but slowly drains your soul. A version of yourself who keeps saying, "I'm fine," even when your heart is breaking inside. Aries, resilience is not just about what you can endure. It's about knowing when to stop, because you finally believe you deserve more. There are moments in life when you must become your own door, open it for yourself, and walk through. No one else can do it for you, and sometimes you must slam that door shut behind you so there's no turning back. I know, this decision isn't easy. This isn't like picking a new color for your room. It's the kind of choice that could change the architecture of your entire life. But if you're hearing the call, even faintly, even in whispers, then your soul is already ready. You don't need anyone's approval. You just need to be honest with yourself. Because the choice ahead isn't between good and bad. It's between good and right. The question is, are you brave enough to choose your soul over your comfort? If your heart is beating faster right now, that's not fear. That's the bell ringing. And if tears just filled your eyes for no reason, know that the deepest part of you already knows what needs to be done, because when you let go, the miracles begin, and the very first light that enters will be your awakened intuition, a sacred gift that only arrives when you've been brave enough to walk forward with empty hands. There are moments in life that come without warning, no thunder, no bright sign in the sky, but deep inside you, a door quietly opens, and suddenly, the world is no longer the same. Aries, you are standing at that threshold, a rare one, a sacred one, a place only reached by those who have walked through fire, who have wandered without a hand to hold, who have stayed awake at night with questions no one could answer. And for that, you are now being given a gift, the gift of awakening. It might happen on an ordinary day. You step outside like you always do, but the sunlight through the trees feels different. The birdsong warms your chest in a way it never did before. You dream of something, and days later it comes true. You begin to sense things before they happen, not with your mind, but with your spirit. A strange feeling in your chest around someone new. A quiet voice inside telling you, wait just one more day. A chill down your spine that makes you turn, just in time to see exactly what you've been searching for. The Magician and the Hermit. These two cards didn't show up by accident. One holds the power to manifest from the unseen. The other chooses stillness to hear the voice within. Together, they're telling your story. A moment in your life when the outside seems quiet, but inside you, a whole universe is shifting. You don't want to talk as much anymore, but you hear everything. You're not trying to impress, yet people feel drawn to you. Children gravitate to you. Animals hold your gaze. Strangers share secrets with you they've never told anyone else. You are glowing in a way the human eye cannot see. Your sensitivity, the thing you once thought was a burden, is actually your greatest gift. When someone walks into the room, you feel their hidden sadness. In a crowd, you sense what no one says. And sometimes, when you touch an object, you hear a memory. No, you're not imagining it. You're remembering. Your soul is waking up after years of being quiet. Every moment of pain, every loss, every heartbreak others dismissed as not a big deal was fire. And it's that same fire that has forged the gift you now carry. You weren't given this gift to show off. You were given it to heal, to listen, to stand as light for those too tired to fight their own darkness. Aries, you don't have to do anything grand. All you have to do is show up. Live by your own rhythm. Trust the unseen. Believe in what only your soul can feel. The rest, the universe will take care of. And when the spiritual gate opens, the first thing to step through is not always light. It's the shadow, an echo from your past, returning not to stay but to be healed once and for all. Sometimes, the doors we thought were sealed forever quietly open again, not to take us back, but to help us move forward. Aries, someone once broke your heart. Not because they were cruel, but because back then they didn't know how to love you the way you needed. Maybe it was a lover, a close friend who disappeared without warning, or someone you always believed. If only things were different, maybe we would have stayed. You've tried to forget, tried to bury the memory deep, but somewhere in your heart, there's still an unfinished beat, a story without an ending, a sentence left unsaid. And the universe, it's never in a hurry. Because right now that you've awakened, now that your soul has made space, now that you've grown enough to look back without bitterness, they're coming back, not to start again, but to help you complete the old cycle. It won't be grand, no flowers, no slow motion reunion scene, just a message, a dream, a chance encounter. But in that moment, you'll know this is the time to close it with grace, with peace, with more kindness than the ending ever had. You won't need to say much. Maybe just one sacred sentence. I forgive you, and I forgive myself. Those words, simple but holy, will unlock a door you never expected to open again. The door you thought was sealed by time and pain was only waiting for this kind of ending. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean excusing what they did. Forgiveness is the choice of the bravest kind of soul, one who chooses healing. over holding on to pain like a badge. And when you truly let go, you don't just set them free, you free yourself. Pain that kept you tied to that memory no longer owns you, and the space it leaves behind will be filled by a light that was always meant for you. The star card never shows up when you're clinging. It arrives only when you release. And when it does, the miracle it brings is tailor-made for the soul of Aries, gentle as a breeze, warm as late afternoon sun. And you'll see, the one who once made you cry was actually the catalyst for your strength, your softness, your wholeness. No one enters our life without meaning, and once that old door closes, not with bitterness but with gratitude, a new one opens, brighter, wider, and beyond it. A life no longer lived in memory but in mission. When a soul has known deep loss, has stood alone in the dark without a guide, has stayed silent because no one could hear them deeply enough, then the moment they find their own light again is no longer just a return, it's a rebirth. Aries, this is not just another turning point. This is your arrival, the moment you no longer ask, "Who am I?" but begin to whisper, "I'm home." You might not fully realize it yet, but if your heart is beating a little faster right now, if there's a lump in your throat and you don't know why, that's not just emotion. It's your soul nodding, quietly, steadily. It recognizes the truth behind every word you've just heard. It knows you've been listening with your whole heart. And it knows you're ready. You don't need more proof. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need to do more to be worthy of the miracle. You only need to allow it. Allow yourself to step out of the cocoon of fear. Allow yourself to live by your intuition, by the true rhythm of your heart, not the noise of the world. This is the universe's invitation, not from urgency, but from love. An invitation to rise, not in panic, not in battle, but in the soft power of a soul that has finally understood. You don't have to try so hard to be who you already are. You are light, and light never needs to explain why it shines. If what you've heard feels like a mirror reflecting back pieces of your journey, the broken paths, the long stretches you walked alone, then know this: you're not alone. There are so many other Aries out there, listening right now, carrying the same intensity, the same tenderness, the same ache to be fully loved just as you are. You can write it in the comments. I am ready to rise. Say it as a declaration to the universe, to your future self, to this very moment. And if this message touched you, share it, because light only expands when passed on through honest hearts. Wherever you are, whatever you're going through, please don't forget, the journey isn't always easy, but you are not walking it alone. You are walking with millions of other awakening souls, learning to forgive themselves, to release the past, to trust in what can't yet be seen. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. In a world that moves so fast, your presence here, your willingness to slow down, to listen, to feel, is a gift. It means you are one of the souls helping soften this world. I know healing isn't a straight path. Some days you'll feel like a mountain. Other days you'll want to curl into the dark. But even on the days you feel like nothing, you are everything in the eyes of the universe. I hope you always have enough courage to keep going, even when the road ahead is unclear, and enough faith to believe in miracles even before they show up, because they are closer than you think. May you walk forward with grace, knowing the divine walks beside you, wishing you peace. And may your light shine brilliantly on the path that was always meant to be yours.